In looking for this clip, I realised that I've got lots of Santomir material that I haven't used, so maybe another lockdown video at some point. But I wanted to show that not all channel crossings go to plan. This film starts with our standard farewell to the Aero Club after all the other visitors had left the annual fly-in 2017.
You okay with this?
Yeah, I'm on your right, so if you keep slightly left of the runway, that'll give me a bit more room.
Okay.
I am close.
Okay, well I'm straight. Quite bumpy.
Yeah. I'll go around for a solo run, okay?
Okay. Thank you, John.
Okay. There's very bad visibility up here.
My name is Tim Palmer and I fly a Jodel DR1050 out of a farm strip in East Anglia. Welcome back to the vlog and a big thank you to all my new subscribers. I really appreciate your support. I fly for fun and basically record for my own interest and review. I like sharing my flying experiences, good and bad, and try to edit for enjoyment and storytelling. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up and do leave me a comment as it makes it all worthwhile.
Station calling me, let's say again.
Golf Alpha Yankee Echo Hotel.
Golf Alpha Yankee Echo Hotel, bonjour.
Bonjour, Golf Alpha Yankee Echo Hotel is a Jodel 1050 out of Lima, Foxtrot, Quebec, November for Nayland in the UK, November Alpha Yankee, Lima Alpha November Delta, loose formation with Charlie Delta Juliet Bravo, and could you open my flight plan as well, please?
Golf Echo Hotel, squawk 6100, QNH is 1017, I'll call you back, I'll activate your flight plan, call me back mid-channel.
I call you back mid-channel 6100 and 1017, Golf Echo Hotel.
Although I'd flown the planned track, John must have missed me in the haze.
Little information, Golf Charlie Delta Juliet Bravo, mid-channel and QSY London info on 124.6.
Juliet Bravo, you can switch frequency to London info, squawk 7000, bye bye.
Bye bye.
Fox Bravo Victor Tango Papa, est-ce que vous pouvez me répéter le type d'appareil, terrain de départ et destination s'il vous plaît?
As I approached the coast, the visibility got even worse. For quite a long while, I was flying in a virtual whiteout. It turned out to be a mysterious poisonous cloud in the channel, which caused a number of people along the Sussex coast to fall ill. I tried to climb above it, but as it didn't improve, I settled for a flight at 4,000 feet. Sod's law. But I found out afterwards that people had crossed at 5,000 were in a lovely blue sky.
Golf Alpha Yankee Echo Hotel, contact London Info 124.6 and Squawk 7000, bye bye.
1246 London Info and Squawk 7000, thank you very much, Golf Echo Hotel. London Information, Golf Alpha Yankee Echo Hotel.
Golf Alpha Yankee Echo Hotel, and information good evening, pass message.
Golf Alpha Yankee Echo Hotel is a Jodel DR 1050 out of Lima Foxtrot, Quebec, November, inbound to Mayland, November Alpha Yankee, Lima Alpha November Delta, presently mid-channel and squawking 7000.
Golf Echo Hotel, thank you, Squawk 1177 with mode Charlie. The basic service, and what's your altitude?
Presently 4,000 feet, understand 1177 on mode Charlie, Golf Echo Hotel.
Golf Echo Hotel, affirm the London QNH 1018.
1018, Golf Echo Hotel.
Yeah, I'm well ahead of you, Tim. I'm halfway through Kent. I lost you in the fog.
Okay.
Solid information. Good evening, Golf Alpha Sierra Juliet Victor.
Golf Alpha Sierra Juliet Victor, information good evening, pass message.
Evening, man. I'm a Spitfire out of Dunsfold, eventually going to Duxford. I'm on route 2. Route 2 Spitfires operating over Dover Harbour from the surface to 3,000 at 17 Zulu to 1750.
I like the trig equipment, but the readouts are small and there was a lot of glare. You can see me struggling to reset the squawk code. I thought I'd held it steady, and although I maintained the height, a glance at Sky Demon showed me that I was about 35 degrees right of track and heading up the North Sea. Note to self on that one.
Negative, ma'am. Just that's for information. I'll cue its right to my formation. There's another Spitfire inbound there.
Roger, thank you very much.
See ya. Have a good one.
Golf Alpha Yankee Echo Hotel is coasting in just up the coast from Dover, and I am aware of the NOTAM area.
Golf Echo Hotel, thank you.
I have been asked for a hangar tour as a lockdown theme, but as I've not been over to the airfield, I thought I'd rework my Hangar Makeover video for you. I was struggling a little bit getting the Jodel out of the old hangar and up a slope, especially on my own. Tony said that we could use the open hangar, which I very much like the idea of because it's on the flat. I was slightly concerned though that it wasn't weather secure, so I came up with this drawing to explain my ideas to him. As you can see, the structure is basically 2/3, 1/3. It's a 14 metre run and a 4.7 metre run, and it's 3.2 metres high. My idea was to use some old timber that Tony said we could use from one of the barns, denail that and build a framework. He also said that we could use some tin, so we put some 3-inch tin along the bottom and some PVC 3-inch corrugated for the top. Interestingly enough, that the profile for the tin was slightly different to the profile to the PVC sheets. However, that's a different story. But it did work quite nicely. We'd looked at the colour swatches that we'd been sent by the company, and we went for the dark olive, which meant we painted the tin in a dark green hammerite. I then sent this drawing off to Alex and the sales team at McGregor Polytunnels, and then once we started getting into the real nitty-gritty of design, then I was passed over to Rory. I have to say that the support and help I had from both Alex and Rory through the whole process was really, really good. Have a look and see what happened. This is a very, very large Airfix kit. Have a look at this. First section there, the square section are the door strengthening bars. Next to them is the track section, and I'll show how that one works in a minute. Then we've got a little piece of sort of coving, flashing to go over the top. The 4 bars here are to strengthen the ratchet and the whole assembly. I'm sorry that the background is as busy as it is, but it will give you some idea of what it is that we're doing. What happens is that using the bolts, which we will tighten up in due course, we actually put a door runner through the top of this section. At this end, one of those will be fitted, be bolted into place, and this hose holds the drop bolt, and the drop bolt will come down there, and eventually when this tube is held in the ground, the object of the exercise is the drop bolt through the bottom of the door strengthener will actually hold that all in place. Sitting over the top of that track on the joist, when we put the bolts through to hold it in place, we actually suspend this, I don't know, coving or splash rail or something. It's got a special name, I'm sure. I'll write as a caption. But that all looks as if that's going to fit on there really well.
He's feeding Eric, I'm feeding him, one behind me's feeding me, one up, just do what I mean, and get it up a bit more quick. Like that, that's it. See, we have a plan. Okay, hold it there.
Might it will work until you just rustle it.
Hey, got that Eric? Same one here?
So by checking that the door strengthener was upright, we put the drop bolt into the ground, bashed it with a hammer a couple of times, and it made a mark. Then took a drill, drilled into the ground, and then the tubing, I actually cut a couple of notches in the end of it, pinched it tight, then put a nut and bolt through it and hammered it into ground. The idea being that then you close the door and drop the bolt into place. And you can see from the top there that once the upright is threaded through the PVC, it's held in place with the same bolt that is attached to the runner inside the track. Saturday the 16th of January, and look at that, it's snowing outside. So I've come down to do Dad's eye drops, and we're watching a little bit of cricket on the television. Since my last video, Dad has been called for his COVID vaccination, but I have included this for him and the rest of the family. It turned out that he had mixed with some very important speedway names in the mid-1950s.
I was telling Tim that when I was playing cricket, I was quite a quick bowler, and the best analysis, the most wickets I took in one innings, I took 6 wickets and I gave away 17 runs, and the most runs that I ever scored in one innings was 67. When I stopped playing for a team in Norfolk, I started to play with my brother at Mistley, and he and I used to open the batting, and he used to score so many runs and I used to score about 10 while he was scoring nearly 100. But it was great fun when we were doing that. When we lived in Norfolk, I played for a team which was called Norwich Wanderers, which was the best team in Norfolk. Norwich also had a speedway team, and the captain of the speedway team was an Australian who lived in the village, and every Thursday night up at the Firs was where they raced these motorbikes. He used to have a game of cricket, half with the Norwich City footballers and half with the speedway team. And one day he hadn't got enough bowlers, so he asked me to play, and that was the time when I started to play on a Thursday with the speedway team, which was nice. Some of the players or the riders that I used to play with was the Australian, Orb Lawson.
On his first visit to England in 1939, Lawson was a sensation and qualified for the first of his 10 Speedway World Finals at Wembley Stadium. With the 1939 event cancelled because of war, Lawson enlisted in the AIF and was a dispatch rider in Malaya before reigniting his Speedway career in 1947. Lawson shuttled between successful stints in the British League. He won the 1959 London Riders' Championship and racing at home, where he was a 9-time winner of the Australian Solo Championship. Lawson also made 84 appearances for Australia in Speedway test matches against England. A career highlight was the 1958 World Speedway Final, where he finished 3rd, joining world champions Barry Briggs and Ove Funden on the podium.
There was another one, Billy Bales, who was like a little dwarf on his bike. Nice little fella. Then there was somebody called Ove Funden, who was a Swede, who was a champion, always used to ride in black and had a red neckerchief which he always used to trail behind.
Yeah. As well as serving Norwich well in his last years as a rider, Australian Orb Lawson also deserves the credit for capturing the man who, without doubt, will always be regarded as the greatest ever in the eyes of all Norwich supporters. Yes, it's time to catch up with Star's Swedish legend and the first man to win 5 individual world titles.
Norwich was a bit special. I think you really agree with me there. They had such a
So who's that then, Dad?
crowd, you know.
Oh, we're filming.
It's 50 years in that close, isn't it? But still there's lots of publicity about it all the time.